All right, here we go. Um, we're going to talk about productivity today. And there's two pieces, doing the right thing and doing it at the right time. I would encourage you to make it only as complicated as it needs to be. Okay. Keep it as simple as you possibly can. Keep it as simple as is appropriate to you. Right. So, one is the first thing that you need to do is make sure that the right person is doing the job. When I first got started in business, my wife said, "Hey, you need to have a bookkeeper straight out of the gate." She knew how I was organizationally. She knew that I would not do the work that was required on the bookkeeping, and it wouldn't be like an exciting death. It would be a really boring death, sort of like not watering a plant, how it just kind of wilts and eventually it's just suddenly dead. It would have been like that. And so a fair percentage of my income went to getting the bookkeeper, but it freed up a bunch of time. Emotionally, I wasn't exhausted and spent doing stuff that I suck at, and then doing it wrong. It was just I was able to give it to somebody. They were able to process it. They were able to get it turned in. I had peace of mind knowing that that was done. One of the greatest things that I did here in recent years was actually hire somebody part-time. And the thing that was strange about that is I would encourage you that when you're looking at the different kinds of work that needs to get done, right? The different kinds of work that you need done to accomplish your goals. Break it out into the things that you're good at and that you enjoy and that you're especially competent at and that have to be done by you. One of the things that was super eye-opening to me was I put a listing on Craigslist that I was looking for a part-time assistant, and I was shocked. I was overwhelmed by how many people replied to my listing. And I will tell you, by the way, just another side note, I did two things that were super, super helpful. One is because they were going to be my assistant, I put a little competence hurdle out there. I said, only reply to this via text. And anybody that replied in an email or to the Craigslist ad directly, I just deleted, because if I've got to manage you and you can't pay attention to something as small as that, you're probably not going to work out. The second thing that I did was I knew that because I had 25 people respond and schedule an interview, one of the things that I did was I knew that I was going to be repeating myself a lot. I used my phone and shot a video walking through the shop and the office, explaining what the job was, and I uploaded it to YouTube as an unlisted video, and then I sent it out to all of those people. About a third of them deleted themselves straight out of the way. They just said, "Nah, that's all right. I'm not interested. That isn't the job for me." Some of them didn't show up, and the people that showed up knew what the job was, wanted the job, and were excited about the idea of coming in and working there. And so that made it great. If you can make it so that people will delete themselves with a competency hurdle and delete themselves by saying, by understanding the job, and you don't even have to explain it to them, or get excited because they understand the job, do that. Super, super great things that I did right there. Doing things in the wrong order. This is one where I highly recommend a book called Procrastinate on Purpose. The title is absolutely horrendous. It should be something like Do the Right Thing at the Right Time. It should be Prioritize Your Life. It should be something really, really awesome. He actually talks about how he horribly mislabeled the book, and it cost him millions of dollars. But he's also got a TED Talk. This is Rory Vaden, and I think it's called How to Multiply Time is the TED Talk. But his book is spectacular on helping you to understand that that if you've got a list of 20 things to do, the goal of productivity isn't about going and getting as many done and off your list as possible. It's about doing the right thing at the right time, which could mean that you only get one of those things done for the day, but that one thing winds up is like an investment, but it's the good investment. And that's basically what you're doing when you're prioritizing. You're like, what's the best investment of my time? If you want to feel good, if you want that little candy high, then line them up by easiest to hardest and just start hammering away. And you'll get, 3/4 of them done, and all of the important hard work that would yield years of benefit just won't get done. And then you'll come back tomorrow and it'll be repopulated with a whole bunch of junk for you to do. The third thing that I encourage people to do is to use the right tool. I was watching I watched a little video where this guy introduced a seal to water, and it was funny because after the seal got into the water, like it looked nervous and uncomfortable, but after it got set into the water and it realized that this was where it belonged, it swam around like it had been in the water forever. And there's a quote by Albert Einstein. It says, everybody is a genius, but if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing that it is stupid. And if you are using tools that are just more complex than you, or you're using tools that are more complex than they need to be, then you're going to wind up being frustrated and feeling crappy about yourself. So for my company, one of the things that I do with like my finances is I basically use a digital envelope system. Went down to the credit union, said, hey, I need to add 5 more accounts to my business checking account. I have all of these accounts. I have a little spreadsheet that I punch in how much money landed in the account. It splits it all out and it says this much goes to tax, this much goes to consumables, this much goes to payroll, this much goes to, and it just splits it out. I go in, I make the transfers. I pay like $2 in excessive transfer fees per month because I do it every single time any money lands in my account, whether it's the morning credit card drop or whether it is somebody writes me a check or a check shows up in the mail. I don't care. I just try to get that money separated as fast as I can so that anytime I look at it, it's current. I know where my money's at. And honestly, could you get a more simple system than that? That's as simple as you can get, but it has saved my bacon. I pay a little extra to the bookkeeper too because I've given her more work to do. She has to reconcile all of those transactions and reconcile those accounts, but I don't even care. What I care about is that anytime I look at that tool, because for me, it's a tool, anytime I look at that, I know where my money's at. Okay. And I can make decisions in accordance with that and be at peace. I'm not accidentally spending tax money. I'm not accidentally spending payroll. I'm not accidentally spending money that should be spent on buying the customer what they invested in. None of that. So it's a very simple rudimentary system that I use. I could go super complex. I could go into a bookkeeping piece of software, keep everything in one account, trust the software, and I would blow the thing up. I would not do it right. And the fact is that the business is simple enough. I don't have to be that complex. So find the right tool so that you can get your work done in an efficient way that isn't more complex than you. If you're making it more complex than it needs to be, then you are wasting time and energy, and you don't have to. Okay, so I think I beat that one to death, but man, I really, really, really want you to get this. I really want you to succeed and to win. And if you tie your shoelaces together, it's really hard to run. So those are my 3 pointers on how to be more productive. Delegate make sure that the right person's doing the right work. Make sure that you are that you've got things prioritized right, and make sure that you're using the right tools that are appropriate to the work and to you. And for goodness sake, keep it as simple as you possibly can. All right. I'm Adam Funderburg, the owner of High Caliber Coaching. I'll catch you later. Bye-bye.